Moin, guten Tag, hallo, servus. These are some ways to greet people. Some of them are regional. Ich heiße Kim. My name is Kim.
And I am Miriam. Ich heiße Miriam. We are so excited to get to know you all and for you to get to know us.
We are here to ensure that you have loads of fun while learning German.
Today we will learn how to talk about other people, and that's why we are both here. I am the expert for what somebody is doing.
And I am the expert for the words that express who is doing something. Let's get started. Listen to the dialogue and pay attention to the pronouns.
Ich heiße Ari. Wie heißt du?
Ich heiße Leon. Er heißt Jonas.
Ja, ich heiße Jonas. Sie heißt Lilly. Genau, ich heiße Lilly.
Also, wir heißen Ari und Lilly. Ich heiße Ari. Sie heißt Lilly. Ihr heißt Leon und Jonas. Du heißt Leon. Und er heißt Jonas. Sie heißen Lilly und Jonas.
Wunderbar. Freut mich.
Mich auch.
Let's first take a look at the pronouns you just heard.
And I will then show you how to use verbs in combination with these pronouns.
First, you see the pronouns for talking about one person or thing. I, you, he, it, and she. Then you see the pronouns for talking about multiple people. We, you all, and they. And you already know about the formal you, sie with a capital S, which behaves like the plural they, the sie with a lowercase s. As a gender-fluid person, I use xia as a pronoun. In our grammar tables, we will use xia, but we mark it in gray because it represents one out of several non-binary pronouns. Nin is also common, and some people even use the English pronoun they when they speak German. Ask your instructor for more resources if you'd like to learn more about gender-neutral pronouns. Now you know the German pronouns. It's time for Miriam to explain how to add verbs.
All right, let's look at heißen, which is the verb whose forms we heard on the playground.
Ich heiße, du heißt. Er, es, sie, xir heißt. Wir heißen. Ihr heißt. Sie heißen.
As you heard and can now see here, German verbs are conjugated, which means they change their ending according to the personal pronoun. This happens in many languages, and in a limited way also in English when we add an S for she, he, it. The endings are mostly regular with a few tiny exceptions that we will address later. You just got to know the verb heißen. Let's talk about some others.
Kommen, wohnen, lernen, studieren.
Can you guess what these verbs mean? If you're not sure, I will show you. Ich komme aus Köln. Köln ist super. Ich wohne in meinem Haus in Aachen. Ich lerne. Mathe ist cool. Ich studiere an der Impuls-Uni. Now you know what they mean, right? Is there anything you noticed about the verbs? Yes, they all end in en. If we cut off the ending, we have the stem of the verb. If we want to use these verbs in a sentence, we need to conjugate them. For that, we will add the ending to the stem. I did all the things we saw before, right? Do you remember the ending for ich from the verb heißen? The ending for ich is I, so you can say
Ich komme, ich wohne, ich lerne, ich studiere.
Let's look at the other endings. Here we see all endings for the verb studieren.
Ich studiere, du studierst, er, es, sie, xir studiert. Wir studieren. Ihr studiert. Sie studieren.
Most verbs work like this. I for ich, st for du, t for sie, sie, en for wir, t for ihr, and en for sie, plural, and sie, formal. See here, it is for lernen.
Ich lerne, du lernst. Es, sie, sie lernt. Wir lernen, ihr lernt. Sie lernen.
Pause this video now and read the conjugations many times until you know them more or less by heart. Okay, let's see if you remember. Add the endings for the verb kommen. Wunderbar! Let's look at two small exceptions now. Number 1. When a verb stem ends in a T or D, like the verb arbeiten, to work, then we add an extra E before ST or T. Number 2. When the verb stem ends in a hissing sound, like SZ, SS, X, or TZ, like the verb heißen, then we don't add another S in the do form. Now you know what to do with verbs according to who is doing something. I know this was a lot of information for one video, but don't worry. You will have the chance to read it all again in our written grammar explanations that follow this video. And then it's time to practice in small chunks, one verb at a time. Viel Spaß beim Lernen. Have fun practicing.